Streaming to you live from an undisclosed location deep within the bowels of the Rose City, it's live in Portland with Chris Franklin! This week, welcome music by Faded Pages, Amanda Martin Tully of the Purple Knights Women's Benefit Concert, actor and sketch writer Monica Daly, music by Kayla J, comedy by James Barella, and music by Jonathan Pierce, with our in-house special guest musician, Rhythm DeLuco! Now here's your host. His smile makes it Christmas in July, August, September, well, actually all year long. He sips rosé with Rudolph and jingles all the way, all day, every day. Up on the rooftop, reindeer paws, out jumps good old Chris Franklin!
Show would be nothing without you. Running Jesus himself, thank you for announcing this show. This is episode 24 of Live in Portland. Also a very important show for me because, you know what? Every moment's important. I got to bring this out. One of our sponsors, Abbey Creek, Bertoni Fossen, who's the absolute man, he said, Chris, open up this bottle when you're with someone special. And, you know, this show keeps on going. And a lot of times I get frantic in my thoughts because it's every Monday. And we've got to make new, cards and new promotions for every single Monday. And it's time that I just relax and be with you, Rhythm. Be with my team here. Be here with the show. Find that opportunity to live in the moment. Abbey Creek released their Ready to Die Pinot Noir. A single barrel, single vineyard Pinot Noir. Something very special. Comes in this beautiful box. Named, maybe we can't say copywritten, but named after that Biggie album that was so iconic in all of our lives. And it got me to thinking about, what does it feel like to be ready to die? And how I think about it is enjoying every moment of life, being present in every moment of life. And I'm so excited to have this moment of life with you, with creative artists in Portland. This is truly a dream come true. Every artist, we're just going to share a piece of this joy. And I'm excited for my first guest, Chris Arnold, to come out to the stage and perform his music.
How y'all doing? All right. I want to shout out to my dear friend Rhythm. He got me hooked up for this set here. Him and I like to jam, so I'm happy to have him jamming with me right here. I feel like I want to put this up just a little bit. Cool. First song is called Tabula Rasa. Thanks.
This time of year never used to get me down. questioning. I'll be okay. You'll be okay. Beside the fire is just enough to wash the bad blood away. Just let it go. I'm trying to purge my soul. Through the marrow of my bones. Just leave me. And I'm dying to disappear. Erased from your world without a care. See, I cannot breathe when it's you who holds my breath. I can no longer conceive of it. I'll come when I'm not dispossessed. Hold no sway. I fold my hand. I let it fray all the way. I'm as see-through as the skeleton leaves. And I know it was all it was. It's just the rain. Don't question it. I'll be okay. You'll be okay. I've set the fire, so watch it burn and just walk away. Just let it go. And I'm tired to purge my soul. Clear the slate and watch all the ashes float away. Thank you. The kick drum. It's live, right? Thanks so much, guys. Up next, I've got a song that I'd like to invite my partner to the stage for. Give it up for Liana, please.
We've both been playing in the music scene here in Portland. We're both born and raised here. We've been in the scene for most of our lives, I think, and we met about a year ago, started up a partnership in more ways than one. And we started writing music together. We've got a project that we're doing together. It doesn't have a name yet. Hopefully soon it will have a name. This song is called For Us. Breathe deep, my love. We're okay tonight. We just need time. That's alright. We'll always have tomorrow. Cut through the rest of this sorrow. When we dig in, these rifts can escalate. Too late. Let's settle down and wait. We'll always have tomorrow to fill up what's hurting and hollow. This one's for you, this one's for me, this one's for us, and it always will be. You won't stand alone as long as I'm breathing, even when we explode. We're broken and bleeding. This river will flow with nothing impeding. And I'll whisper the words when you need me to. The same way you take me from gray to blue. Breathe deep, my love. We're open to the rain. Your window pictures fade. Nothing else will wane. We'll always have tomorrow to laugh at our long past sorrows. This one's for you, this one's for me, this one's for us, and it always will be. You won't stand alone as long as
even when we explode, we're broken and bleeding. This river will flow with nothing in between. No whisper the words when you need me to. The same way you take me from greater blue. Thank you so much, everybody. Rhythm, Beluga on the drums, Liana on the backing vocals. Thanks so much for having me out, guys. Appreciate it.
Let me get this wine for you before you leave the stage. We've got to talk. Chris,
Yeah,
born and raised in Portland.
that's right.
Tell me about the development of your sound.
I was a musician from a young age, and I was more of a jazz player. I played in band, I played trombone and stuff in school. Little jazz guitar with my brother, who was also in the Faded Pages project. I saw the movie once as a teenager. Glenn Hansard, hero of mine, and from that moment I was hooked on songwriting, singer-songwriter stuff. Sorry, I'm like sweating at you right now.
No, it's
Like
hot in
aggressively
here.
sweating right now.
I feel like your music cooled us down. Guys, it's 112 degrees here in the Live in Portland studio. It's not really, but it feels like
I
it.
would have believed that. Actually. But yeah, I went to Ireland for 2 months just with my guitar and
Yeah.
played on the street and
Yeah.
didn't know if I could sing, didn't know if I could write or anything. And just gave it a shot, got a good response, came back and said, all right, let's do it.
What I notice about your music is like your vocals. You just give it all.
Thanks, man. I tried.
Yeah.
I do try.
When-
That is why I'm sweating right now.
yeah. Tell me with that energy, like what are you representing? Like what kind of piece are you bringing to the world?
For me, music is first and foremost a healing vessel. In college, I did a thesis on music therapy. I work in music outreach. I teach music to at-risk youth. For me, music is healing. It's a lifestyle. It's everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think music is the most human thing there is. And so
Totally.
for me, when I'm singing, I'm trying to carry something forward.
Cheers to that. And for you, like when you met up with Chris, I mean, it feels like you've matched in so many ways, and you have a project coming out together that you're working on.
It's honestly how it was when we met was that immediate match. We met at Mr. Theater,
Mhm.
and I had a show that night with somebody else who I was in a band with. And long story short, I ended up quitting that band, and we decided to just create our own project,
I
start
swear
from
to
scratch.
I swear.
He didn't. I couldn't resist.
That's beautiful. I'm glad we're having this moment over wine.
Yes, exactly.
Chris, thank you so much for coming out. That music is beautiful. Thank you so much. Rhythm, take it away. Rhythm. Thank you so much for coming out. I think it's a true testament to the, breadth of energy in which we have our creative community. I got this late call from Sexy Marvin, our house band drummer. He was traversing back to the Milky Way. He lives in Andromeda. And there was this asteroid storm that was happening. And, like, you don't learn about it until, when he sends the signal, it arrives here in 3 or 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
That's how technology works in space. And so we get this information on Saturday night, and I'm like, well, I know we have Portland artists, and I know you work in the multi-dimensional space,
Yeah.
and Marvin can work with you because he's an extraterrestrial.
He beamed some of his drum chops down to me, and yeah, I'm just I'll admit I'm a little bit rusty on these things, but Marvin's helping me out. His spirit is here, bouncing around the room, and yeah.
Yeah, I just want to thank you so much, Rhythm DeLuco, for coming out. You've been a guest on our show twice now, and just kind of a great foundation for what we are trying to represent here on Live in Portland. So everybody, put your hands together for Rhythm DeLuco. My next guest, I'm so excited to bring her on. Amanda is hosting this great event, and I hope you have purple to wear because we're going to tell you all about it. Amanda Martin Tully, come on out.
Thank you. Oh,
We hug. We are
so
huggers.
sweaty.
We hug, we drink.
The whole reason I'm here, definitely
Yes.
to talk about better things. But thank you for the wine.
Amanda, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers
Cheers.
to the moment.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Yeah.
red wine drinker usually.
Oh, really?
No.
Welcome.
Thank you. So much.
Amanda, we're here to talk about an event you are doing.
Yes.
That's August 11th.
Correct.
It
It is now.
And you're hosting, and it's a donation base and
Correct. For Rosehaven.
Rosehaven. Yes.
And they support women and children here in the Portland community that are in need and in crisis.
Okay.
So it's a wonderful organization.
Yeah.
You can check them out. You can find them on Instagram. They're super responsive. They're wonderful.
Yeah. And you've developed, there's been a whole showcase developed on this.
There's music, there's comedy. It's taking place at Columbia Park on the 11th from 12 to 10 p.m. Comedy's going to be in the evening. Family friendly.
Awesome.
So bring your loved ones, hang out, have fun. We're purple. There will be a competition. There will be a raffle. It's just somewhere for families to come and have a great time.
Yeah, and support a good cause.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Amanda, how did you get involved? You're hosting this event.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's
so
talk about
sweaty.
that. I know it's hot. It's hot. I'll lose a button.
I actually know Brian Maurice, and he's part of this entertainment group.
Second team.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he wants to really give back to the community.
Yeah.
So he's wonderful. I worked with him on a previous project. He reached out to me and said, hey, I think you're funny.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe other people will.
Yeah.
So come do this, please.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. You're a comedian.
I am. Yes.
You've had a background in theater.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me
Yes.
about some of your development into comedy.
Yeah. I wanted to know what rock bottom really was because I hadn't. I don't think you hit rock bottom in theater. Like the first thing you don't until you're like on a Sunday afternoon drunk in a ball on the stage crying.
Yeah.
That's rock bottom.
There's a huge threshold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want people to applaud me and say I was talented anymore. I was like, I just want to feel what's real.
Okay.
So yeah, that's blackout drunk on a Sunday. And no one thought I was joking.
Yeah.
Like, people just thought, hey, she's really committed to this character. She's really this person. And I
Totally.
was like, yeah, that's really me.
Yeah.
And so I had that moment and I cried and I've never watched the recording because I would not get back up on stage if I had. And I realized nothing's ever going to be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, spare for, I don't know, peeing myself,
Right.
becoming a YouTube sensation.
Did you really?
Like,
Were you crying on stage?
yes, absolute.
Okay.
Curled up into a little ball. I crouched and then just kind of tipped over
Yeah.
and then just held the mic and cried and then begged to get off the stage like I was being held hostage. And they're like, you can get off anytime you want.
No one's keeping you.
Yeah, no one. Just you and your pain. And then I was like, all right, let's do this again.
Yeah.
And that was...
And then your comedy career blossomed.
And that
That's
was 2 years ago in August.
Yeah.
Because I have this reminder in my phone that says, you better have done comedy by now, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
So that pops up every year that I keep going.
So I think when you start at rock bottom,
Mm-hmm.
you could see improvements as you gradually grow. Hopefully,
I
that's
hope.
the case.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm like, nope, still there.
Yeah.
Still definitely there.
Yeah.
But each performance is a new chance to showcase yourself. And I think in a room full of artists, everyone knows that. Like, you're going to have a bad time, and you grow from that. And if you don't, you keep drinking.
Right.
You can do one or the other.
So-
and it just happens.
And I think a lot of us performers, like, we choose this craft as a form of cheap therapy, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I had a
Do we
long-
all agree?
Right? I had a long time without health insurance.
So as your comedy career grows, I'm sure you've found things that grow within you. Like, tell me about the growth you've had in this time. You said 2 years ago, August?
2 years ago in August, yeah. So when I started, I think an easy route to go is to not tell your story. To speak to what others are going to find funny.
Yeah.
And that's not very genuine to you, and I think
Right.
every artist kind of experiences that of like, okay, I'm going to be this and people are going to like it. And that's great, that's easy. But being you is hard. And when
Yeah.
people don't like that, that's real hard.
Totally.
But when they do, and when you can speak to someone, and for me, my comedy is really about speaking to women in particular, and talking about the fact that you don't have to be what society tells you to be. You don't have to be what your parents or your sister or your friends, like, I don't want kids. I hate them. I think they're stupid. Let's just go with that. But a lot of women don't feel like they can express that.
Right.
And so the fact that I talk about that on stage, and I've had a woman come up to me and say, I've always felt that,
Yeah.
but I've never been able to say it.
Yeah.
Being able to send a message and say, I'm here, you're here, we're all feeling it,
Totally.
fuck them.
Right.
And whoever the them is,
Right.
fuck it. Be you, express you. That's the whole reason I'm doing comedy now.
And I think that's beautiful, and I think the moments we find that we are uniquely ourselves is when we're facing the most judgment. you
Yeah,
know? Like,
absolutely.
and the things that we stand upon, you know, and counter to that judgment. So I think it's really cool. I think it's really cool. Like we're going places, you
Yeah,
know, with this conversation and with the work that you do. Tell us more, because you've got Haley Lynn, one of our Live in Portland alumni. We've got JoJo Scott performing also at
We
this
also
event.
have Melina Best.
Melina Best, yes.
Some amazingly talented performers. I'm so
Yeah.
excited. It's like an all-female lineup. It's going to be a great show. Come out. It's, you know, minimum $10, and then if you donate at least $5, you get a discount. So come on, like, be a good person.
Yeah.
Drink for a cause.
For a cause, with great comedy,
Yeah.
I could attest to the great entertainment and the musical acts.
Perfect.
Like,
I
phenomenal.
I like that you're vouching for at least
Yeah.
half of the entertainment. Like, the other half, I don't know. But at least pay to see them.
And this is happening, once again, August 11th.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the location, once again?
Columbia Park starts at noon, goes till 10.
And Amanda, how can people reach out to you and get in contact with you?
So they can find me at A. Martin Tully on
Okay.
Instagram, amandamartintully.com. I also host a weekly show at the Slide Inn over off Southeast Ankeny every Thursday, and then I'm hosting a show at Century Bar with Jared George
Awesome.
the last Wednesday of each month. So
Every
August,
month.
Every month. So August 29th will be our next one. I'm not sure who the lineup is yet.
Yeah.
He just fills me in last minute. He's like, just show up and be great. And I'm like, we'll find out.
Well, thank you
Thank
very
you
much
so
for coming
much.
in.
Yeah.
Amanda Tully, everybody. Rhythm, take it away.
I have to leave the one.
Thank you, Rhythm. My next guest was a participant, writer, actor in the 48-hour film project. And it's such a crazy thing to conceive of, because filmmaking takes a long time. You know, it takes a long time to create a concept. It takes a long time to execute that concept. But so many filmmakers have participated in this, and it's fun to see someone who just got out of the just crazy 48 hours. I think she's a day out Come on out. Let's talk about it. Monica Daly. Monica, you've been hard at work.
I've been hard at work.
Let me pour you some wine.
Please do. I have not drank all weekend.
Nice. Let's talk about it because this is Monday.
Yes.
We are just a day out of this 48-hour
Yeah.
film project.
I'm barely awake. Yeah.
Cheers. You made it.
Yeah, it's odd being up until 3 a.m. and going out and all of the drunks are out, like falling around, and
Yeah.
you realize, like, oh, is that me sometimes? Like, it's a different world being bone sober at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And out. It's wild.
Well, let's talk about the concepts behind your project. And did you sleep at all during this whole event, or is it
Yeah.
something that you just keep on going?
You mostly keep on going. Yeah, I was up till
Yeah.
like 3 a.m. most nights. I also have a new kitten who also just kept me up, so it was
Yeah.
like I did not sleep a lot, but it's
Yeah.
so fun, and I have such a great team that it just helps energize you to keep you going.
Now, how does this all start? Like, this is through a organization, like a film festival.
Yeah, 48-hour film project. It's a nationwide event, and then there's I think maybe 80 cities that do it.
Okay.
And basically Friday night you get all of your prompts. There's genres, characters, props, and then you write it and you film it and you edit it and you hopefully get it in on time.
Yeah. Is this your first time doing a
Second
full
year. Yeah.
second year? Okay. Do you do film throughout the year, and this is just kind of a good practice?
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
Okay. Let's
I've
talk
been
about
doing
that.
film for like the past, actually the 48 last year was my first like big film project, so
Yeah.
that's what I've been focusing on for the past year. I have a couple web series in post and filming some more this summer, but yeah, this
Awesome.
is a fun reminder to just like make some art, get it out there, because realizing how long things take in post
Totally.
can be a little like sad, and you kind of lose your like energy for a project. So this was a
Right.
really great, invigorating way to like get our creative juices flowing again.
Yeah, and this is a nationwide event. A lot of people are participating in it. Tell me about the energy throughout the 48 hours. I'm sure there's highs and lows and a lot of coffee.
Highs and lows, lots of coffee. Yeah, I think we learned, especially from last year, it's so important the people that you choose, just having really great attitudes and being team players. Otherwise, you can be miserable all weekend long because it's nutty. But we just like had a really great time and just
Yeah.
kept each other going.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a premiere for all the featured films that's coming up later this week.
Yeah, there's 4 different showings because of how many groups there are. So we are Thursday at 7 at the Hollywood Theater.
Awesome. Hollywood Theater. Shout out to the Hollywood Theater,
Yeah.
a great community-oriented theater. And it's going to be a great event because you have a bunch of Portland creative artists who are there. They just put in a ton of work, throughout a weekend. And we're probably going to see some, creative brilliance.
Yeah.
Because the editing room is probably really difficult within that time span.
Yeah.
So it probably keeps a lot in there that, if you were doing a full feature film, that would have hit the floor. But I think within those cuts, you find a bit of genius.
Completely. Yeah, there were so many times where we were debating, do we do this, do we cut it? And someone just had to be, cut it. Just make the decision, move on. We don't have time to,
Yeah.
decide things.
Yeah.
We just need to go. Yeah.
So I saw on your Instagram page that there was a bit of a continuity disaster.
Yeah, we saved this, silly string scene for the end because we were like, it's going to be all over. And then we did it, and we were like, oh, all the scenes afterwards, it should be all over. So we just had to cut that scene because
Yeah.
we were going to, reshoot other scenes and it was just like, we can't. We
Yeah.
have to cut that scene.
What did you end up naming the film?
Mime Control.
Mime Control. Nice. Monica, we need to look out for Mind Control at the Hollywood Theater. How can my audience get in touch with you through social media?
You can follow me on the Instagram, Mo Tiki Freaky, or my production company is Peekables.
And before we leave, let's talk about Peekables.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the energy behind Peekables.
Yeah, Peekables is great. It's with my co-everything person, Kelsey Peak, and we started it last fall. We both have more of a theater background, and so the last year we're just trying to learn more about film, and we're just failing our way to the top and making lots of mistakes. But it's just really, it's just a big learning time for us, but really, really awesome.
Awesome. Monica, thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming out.
Yeah.
Rhythm, take it away. Thank you, Rhythm. Dude, I'm in love with this wine. This is a special moment. This is where we celebrate our creative entrepreneurs, musicians, comedians, producers, the people who really make this city great. I think a true testament to any civilization is the art that's produced. And I think here in Portland, we've got a lot of energy to produce amazing art in this next year and for years to come. We're surrounded by an incredible group of talented human beings, and I'm excited for my next guest because she represents that in every single way. Kayla J, come on out.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm ready. Yeah, check. Is you about your check? Y'all ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Talent check. I got the looks, yo check. Do I really look like I'm an artist and need to be checked? I'm trying to catch a flight, back check. I need a deal, yeah. Ain't nothing else in my head except check. Turn up, talent check. I got the looks, yo check. Do I really look like I'm an artist and need to be checked? I'm trying to catch a flight, back check. Yeah, I need a deal, yeah. Ain't nothing else in my head except check. Hold up. Check who? Check me. I'm popping like a Pepsi. They watch me like a sex scene. Flow sick with my vaccine. I'm a star. I'ma break out like X-scene. And I never wanna go where my ex be. We might fight this a life of a lesbian. Said catch me in the lab where I'm testing. I gotta make dope shit for my mad fiends. I do my damn thing. All these comments on my feel like they spam me. I'm too good to be true, like I'm scamming. As you can see, I'm pretty hot. I need fanning. I'm really so worked up from all this rambling. You said that you was house scout while you gambling. You can't battle these niggas, these raggedy niggas. You should battle me, nigga. I'm going to the top like a balcony, nigga. You getting out of talent when I'm rapping, they listen. Hit on every ball like a trapeze, nigga. After I murder artists in the USA, I'm killing Londoners off like Jackie Ripper. Facts, my boy, I need mine in that tax, my boy. Checks, my boy. We NGM, nigga. You can never check my boys. Oh, you saying I'm a check? Yeah, say less, my boy. Hold up. I'm best just you would never catch me in the dress, my boy. Tell me, check. I got the looks. Ooh, do I really look like I'm an artist? Yeah, I'm trying to catch a flight. I need a deal. Yeah, ain't nothing else in my head except check. Tell it, check. I got the looks. Do I really look like I'm an artist? Yeah, I'm trying to catch a flight. I need a deal. Yeah, ain't nothing else except check. Wait. Hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some pippin' in it. Ooh. And I like women when they melanated. I got night vision, no, I really love women. I would die if I woke up with my tongue missing. I probably wouldn't see the light like the sun's missing. I go hard on the beat when the drums hit. Drop line at the line like I'm going fishing. Another crappie, another salmon. I'm outstanding, I'm outlandish. I'm an outsider like I'm out camping. And I could out rap you with my mouth missing. And I can make you panic like a child missing. I got so many bars, you should blame your sister. If I was act ready, you should blame your sister. She gave me good brain, she a mathematician. And if I come around and you acting different, my boys will fuck up your mouth like a bad dentist. Am I a musician or a magician? It's a trick every time I'm rapping shit. Turn up, tell it, check. I got the looks, yeah, do I really look like I'm an artist? Kayla J, I'm trying to catch a flight, back check. Yeah, I need a deal. Ooh, ain't nothing else except check. Tell it, I got the looks, do I really look like I'm an artist? I need to be. I'm trying to catch a flight, back check. Ooh, I need a deal. Yeah, ain't nothing else except check. I'm plenty of fish. When I have a pot to piss in, don't be messing with me. When I'm rich, I need to run up and check like I'm about to miss it. And if I act like an ass, you gon' have to kiss it. Cause I'ma be that nigga, I'ma be ass kicking. And all my niggas gon' be eating while you fasting, bitch. Tell it, check. I got the looks. Do I really look like I'm an artist that need to be checked? I'm trying to catch a flight, back check. I need a deal, yeah. Ain't nothing else in my head except check. Tell it, I got the looks. Do I really look like I'm an artist that need to be? I'm trying to catch a flight. Yeah. Can I have y'all help? Can I get some help? Check, check, check. Now go check, check, check. Go check, check, check. Now go check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Hey, they turned up in the studio, y'all. How many of y'all love going to the strip club? Y'all lying. Look, they lying up front. They like to go. Hey, if you love going to the strip club, if you are a stripper, I'm not gonna point you out, but this one is for you, man. This is for my independent women. You feel me? Y'all ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, let's go!
Today, but guess what I'm working tomorrow. I'ma go support my homegirl, the teddy bar.
Yeah, they meant today, but they gonna be tricked tomorrow. They'll be spending only dollar bills. Yeah, a lot of shit goes down. My homegirl acting all drunk. Yeah, now she done got some man's attention. Yeah, no, I'm riding shotgun in her Billy car. Let's go. I said my homegirl, she ain't in school. Nah, she ain't no cliche, she just getting paid. Her strip club ain't got no rules. I don't really know what's going on behind them shades, but I know she got her own apartment and ain't got no roommate. She used to have a roommate, but that hoe was too fake. And now she hate on my homegirl, but she might have her own company. Bitch, now you living at your mama house. You can't even have company, bitch, grumpy, bitch. You really mad or something? Probably cause you're empty, not down. You can't shake your ass like it, cause you can see my friend ass when she come in. Make a nigga ask for a number, but she don't get up mad just for nothing. Come with the cash, so don't come in. She can spot a man with no money. She can hypnotize you with her hips. She can turn a bowler to a trick, make a long life. Think that he's a shit. She could turn a male talk to her personal. Yeah, make him think he about the bone, and then she deal. Yeah, I'ma go support my homegirl. Turn up. But they gonna be tricked tomorrow. They'll be spending all like dollar bills. Yeah, a lot of shit go down. Hey, my homegirl acting all drunk. Yeah, now she done got some minutes. Yeah, turn up. In her. Yeah. I said my homegirl, she ain't ashamed. They said he judging, but not one of her bills is in their name. She gon' shake that. Dang. And I'm a news anchor, and I'm expecting a big chance of rain. Can't invite your husband, he came. Yo, daddy fucked up your rent for a little bit of booze in his face. All for a vicious T-Bane. Meaning it really is, but it ain't. She don't give a fuck about your pockets. She don't give a fuck about your day. So don't you turn to T-Pain. But they can't help but let her aim. She turned to a therapist. Otherwise, she's staring his wrist. He gets a place on his necklace. Arrogance turned to negligence. And man, ego so delicate. If she keeps stroking his tip, it's gonna ooze evidence. She influences all kind of men. Politicians and reverends. Police be scanning her body like they're looking for evidence. My homegirl killing these niggas. She bring the thrills to these niggas. And all she asks in exchange is to get some bills from these niggas. Turn up. I'ma go support my home. Yeah. But they gonna be tricked tomorrow. They'll be spending only dollar bills. Yeah, a lot of shit go. Yeah. Oh, drunk. Yeah. Last verse. And now I'm riding shotgun in her Bentley car. Yeah. I said my homegirl don't give no fucks. They rather her living off a man or in the welfare system stuck. She know her looks won't last forever. She's saving up for some business endeavors. And all these people throwing stones, but they glass houses couldn't be clearer. We living in a whole new era. Why you still thinking like a caveman? And God had to make women just to balance off the stupid when they made men. Women always gotta come save men, feed men, bathe men, drape men, and clothing, then act like it was all men. Even when they act like boys, but we still call men. I'm not saying it's all men, but y'all know who y'all is. And then that same man turned around and he disrespect the queen. It don't matter what she's wearing, who she's being with. That's my word like a linguist. I support my homegirl, whether she was an escort or a dentist. You gotta uplift your homegirl, not condemn your homegirl. That's gonna put her on the defense. In the future, when she get on, she won't forget about the pretense. She can catch me at He's Gentleman Club yelling, yes, do your thing, bitch. Turn up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Turn up, turn up. Yeah, yeah. But they gonna be, yeah, they'll be spinning. Ole, yeah, hey, a lot of my homegirl acting all drunk. Yeah, getting a shitty. Manza, hey, hey. And now I'm riding shotgun in her Bentley car. Yeah, yeah. Thank y'all so much.
Kayla! Oh man, I'm gonna get you a drink. I'm gonna get you a drink. Cool out.
Yes, yes.
Cool out. You turned up. Kayla, when you said a song about strip clubs, you took it to another level.
Yeah. Not your average strip club
Not your
song.
average strip club song. We operate differently in Portland, right? Like,
True, true.
and what I loved about that song is like you're giving the perspective of, you know, the powerful woman behind it all.
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cheers. That was an awesome performance.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk about how your sound developed. Check, check, check. Oh, yeah, you going. Like, you're hyped. Let's talk about your music.
Well, I started rapping when I was in 2nd grade.
Mm-hmm.
My voice is going out, sorry. I saw a clip of Lauryn Hill's doo-wop music
Okay.
video,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh shit, black women are rapping out there.
Yeah.
And I started rapping ever since and like doing poetry. And I just kind of like was growing up and just going through growing pains in life. And then I was just like trying to find my identity. And I was like, oh shit, I'm probably gay.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Yeah, I'm gay. And then about like 5 or 6 months ago, I was like, all right, I think I'm ready to start rapping now that I found my true identity.
Yeah.
And I know who I'm speaking to now, and now I can finally be myself in my
Yeah.
music. And I really identify with a lot of things that the comedian Amanda was saying, because I really do want to speak for women and speak to women, especially black gay women.
Yeah.
Especially ones that are like not entirely like femme
Yeah.
and just like super feminine and things like that. And that's how I started making the music that I'm making now. My 3 singles, Kayla to the MFJ, Check times 3, and He's Gentleman's Club.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite strip club in Portland?
I might have to say Golden Dragon.
Okay.
I hate paying the fee to get in, but it's the most diverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the most diverse.
Let's go
So-
back. Let's go back.
Honestly, I don't go to the strip club because
Yeah.
I'm poor.
Yeah.
And I don't think like the strippers deserve me because I'm not gonna give them money really.
Yeah.
So I try not to go there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to what you were talking about when it comes to marginalized voices.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about Portland. We're talking about, you know, the certain white demographic exists in Portland. You know, and that is kind of the predominant voice in Portland. And I find in myself that it's amazing because we can find rooms,
Yeah.
you know, for marginalized voices. And there
Yeah.
are great community spaces because there's almost this angst for it.
Yeah.
You know, tell me about the community and how
Yeah.
it's grown for you.
Well, when I first came out, I started to go to a lot of POC like queer conferences with my cousin,
And so I started to go to those kinds of events, just like safe spaces to just kind of like talk about whatever. And now that I'm getting like into the music scene, I'm finding like a lot of different events and just supporting like other artists of color, other local artists, and just meeting like a whole nother community, like just being in the music scene. So that's been really dope too.
Yeah, and I think what makes a great community is when all voices are represented. And there's so much we could bring to the table, like America's gone a certain way for all of its existence.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like Portland hip-hop is starting to develop a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, definitely within the last couple of years, I'm seeing a lot more, like, different shows, like, such as The Thesis and Girl Fest and Mic Check and just those kind of, like, reoccurring events that are, like, building an audience specifically for hip-hop and for, like, local hip-hop. Which didn't exist like when I was like younger and like trying to rap and stuff. So now it's like the perfect time for me to like get back into it.
Yeah, Kayla, you put on a hell of a performance here. I'm so happy to have you on the show. Cheers. Where can my friends and fans find you on social media?
My Twitter and Instagram handle is Kayla J, KAYELAJ_. And that's where I'm most active on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into Twitter, but I don't know, Twitter's weird. Like, the format of Twitter is weird. Like, I don't know what's up with Twitter.
I can't just say things. I guess I'm not that funny.
Well, that's the problem with Twitter. I'm like trying to think of funny stuff to say.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm just recycling jokes, like,
Yeah.
But I'm very active on Instagram. I post a lot of flyers to my shows and stuff like that.
Also, you've got a show coming up.
Yes, it's a pro-Black, pro-LGBTQ, pro-refugee rally. It actually happens in multiple neighborhoods, but the one I'm performing at is in the Lentz neighborhood. I believe it's 6401 Southeast Foster Road.
Okay.
And I go on at 5:30. It's like an outside show at like a park. And come through if you want. And I post like a bunch of other shows on my Instagram as well. So
I mean, I found in Portland the street scenes, like when we have events here in Portland, especially during summertime, you could find some amazing local artists. And I'm happy we've met here. I'm excited to support you at the shows. You turned up tonight. Thank you so much for coming
for
out.
having me. Like, this is so tight.
Absolutely. Rhythm, take it away. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rhythm. This show could not be without our sponsors. I want to say a special thanks to Abbey Creek Winery. A special thanks to Mad Hippie Skincare. They saw in the beginning what we were trying to do. It takes a while for the vision to come through. And I'm excited that we have 24 episodes and we continue to grow. We're going to introduce so much to you in the coming years. We're booking out our show for the rest of the year. There's so much energy behind it, and it's a good cause. We've got an amazing team here on the production side. We've got an amazing city to represent in our Portland creatives, and I'm super happy to keep it going. Our comedy scene here in Portland is on the next level. And I'm excited because our guests have been recommending some of the best guests to come on our show. And my next guest is highly recommended. James, will you come on out?
Let's go, guys. You guys having a good night? Yeah. Cool. My name is James Barella. I got one of those last names people just like to call me by my last name, Barella. It's a fun name to say. Barella is a name that gets shouted across a police precinct. You know what I mean? Can you hear? You can hear the chief like, Barella, Scagnetti, my office now, and bring your guns and badges. It's definitely in there. This is a cool space. This is a cool room, man. I walked in, I was like, yeah, man, this is a cool space. This is going to be dope. And then the guy was like, hey guys, we're about to start shooting in 5 minutes. And they cut off that giant fan that I had strategically placed myself in front of. Yeah, so I'm feeling like a lightly boiled frog right now. It's brutal heat this week. It's so brutal. You guys escaping the heat? You guys like going to like the lakes and the streams and the rivers and stuff? Yeah? Hate that shit. I hate all of it. I hate all that shit. I got tricked into going to Savi Island last year to escape the heat. Yeah, you know the nudie beach you got? Yeah. From where I was, all I could see was just a row of dudes all laying in their bellies in the sand, you know? And they all got up to leave at the same time. I look over at their sexy bodies all caked with sand all over, and I thought to myself, you know what? I think I actually could go for some churros right now, actually. Churro sounds good. For the record, I am Mexican. Basically just means I have a lot of trouble throwing away fast food napkins, is what that means. Also means I work in a kitchen. Yeah. And here's the thing, when you're working in a cook downtown, you begin to notice all the things you have in common with the meth heads downtown. Yeah. You're like out back and you're like, cool, man, you got unexplained burns and scars on your arms as well. That's cool. Cool, man. Awesome. Another thing that kitchen workers and meth heads have in common is meth. Yeah. Same dental plan, too. Yeah. Speaking of dental plans, I'm not a dramatic person per se, you know, like I'm normally like a really chill dude, you know, but every once in a while, if I got like a good story, I'm going to sell that story. Like Shakespeare is going to come to bat. I'm going to sell the story. Like, the other day, my buddy Hunter came up to me and he was like, hey, Barella, I heard like you had some serious shit go down, man. I heard like you had to go to the hospital and shit, dude. Man, what's going on with you? And I was like, well, not 3 eves ago, I awoke with this pain in my chest. It was a gnawing pain, a clawing pain, like a winter wolf trying to dig beneath the fatty snows of Narnia. And I rose from my chaise lounge and I consulted my consultant, Google. Pain in the chest, pain in the left arm. And Google said to me, the longer you wait, the more damage you could be doing to your heart. So I filled my abode fast as my were-hippo legs could carry me. 6 blocks to the nearest room of emergency. And they checked me in, and they sat me down, and they strapped mechanical tentacles all across my chest. And a man entered. And as I leaned forward and to address him, I yelped in pain. I yelped in anguish like a white person reviewing a salad bar that did not have pickled ginger. I yelped. And the man spake to me. Oh, okay, it hurts when you move it. You're not having a heart attack. I leapt from my chair, and I tore Elias from my chest. And I thrust him like a cat o' nine tails. And I said, one side, you vampiric sawbones, I must abscond from this wretched apothecary. And he held his stethoscope light into my eyes, and he said, okay, sit back down and take your wretched credit score back into the pit of shadows from whence it came. And that is the story of how I lost my entire insurance deductible because I slept on my arm wrong. I'll leave you with this, a warning, I guess. There is a cult hiding in plain sight throughout this whole city. Yeah, a cult. When I tell you who it is, it's going to click in your brain like, oh yeah, that's definitely a cult. In fact, if you take the phrase death cult and shuffle the letters around a little bit, it spells Dutch Bros. Oh, can I get the creepiest consumer experience possible, please? Can I get my caffeine fix from a Scientology kiosk? Can we doing that now? Are we doing that? Can I go somewhere where the barista is some rock and roll Mormon who leans so far out the window it's like she's trying to escape with me? And they always say the same thing too. It's like, you gonna do something fun today? You doing something fun? You going somewhere fun? You going to a safe place? Sir, are you going to a safe place? Are you going to a safe place, sir? hella creepy, man. It makes me weird too, because like they're like, "You want whip with that?" And I'm like, "Yes, my child." You know. And they gave me access to the secret menu. Yeah. The Dutch Brothers secret menu. The breast milk and OxyContin macchiato is delicious. I'll just say that. And relaxing. Okay, guys, I guess that's my time, yeah? Let's wrap this up.
James Barella, everybody! Okay. I'm going to pour you a glass of wine, James. How about that?
Hell yeah, I'll take some wine. Now, what is this wine? You say the guy, he plays like Biggie to the Vines or something like that? Or
Biggie to the Vines.
He plays hip-hop to the actual
I think that's
grapes.
I think that's a great idea, Bertoni Foster. So Bertoni Foster is the owner of Abbey Creek. It's a hip-hop winery.
Yeah.
They also have the only vineyard in Portland, Oregon.
Like in the city limits?
Within the city limits.
Ooh, is it on a roof somewhere?
So it's actually in Forest Park.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to pour you a bit of this. This is the Ready to Die Pinot Noir. Single vineyard, single barrel.
That's drinkable.
Pinot Noir.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's how I judge my wine. Is like, could I just drink a fuck ton of it? You know what I mean? If it's like super sharp and tastes like, you know, oak shards or something like that, I'm like, but.
James, so, I mean, much like most of the Portland creatives in this city, you work in the service industry.
Yeah.
It's,
you know, I worked there long enough to get the hours I want, so basically, yeah, I'm just kicking it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do shows. You've got a few residencies.
Residency, like, yeah, I don't have any air conditioning where I live, but I guess whatever. No, I do it's my residence. By the way, you're eerily cheerful. I just want to say that.
Sorry.
Really.
It's my fucking demeanor.
That's just fucking,
I can't help it.
Like, if you guys see, there's a computer in the back with like a knitted doily covering it, and there's like a stick of sage next to it. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is Chris's spot right here. Yeah, for sure. No, I have a show. I have a Sunday show in October. It'll be 2 years going every week, every Sunday. It's at the Slide Inn. I booked the fattest, hottest comics from far and wide and here in the city. And yeah, it's one of the best shows in Portland. It's one of the highest paying shows in Portland. I would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And James, like, it's important that we talk about this. Like, the comedic scene in Portland.
Yeah.
So, like, there's so much energy behind it. Can you give credence to that, or where does it come from?
Well, there are a lot of people in the scene just putting out a lot of effort to try and just churn out, places where we can hone our craft, like open mics and things like that. And we're lucky to have some really good comics in the scene. We just had a contest. Alex Falcone is the funniest person, and Caitlin Warehouser before him, and Noriko Ott before that. It was we got some stellar comics doing like big things. Like I think Caitlin just got back from the Just for Laughs festival in Montreal, which is like a huge, like worldwide comedy festival.
And former Portland's funniest comedian.
Yeah, last year she just gave away. She just gave the title away. She didn't have to do it anymore. But I love the scene. Like I said, like I like to. That's why I wanted to start a show, partly because I wanted to pay back to the scene. Put some money in comics' pockets like every week. That's what I want to do. So yeah, it's great. You give, you get, you love, you laugh, and then you go here and hug Chris, but it's too sweaty. Too fucking sweaty.
James, for my audience at home and my audience here, how can they find you on the interwebs?
You can Google my show. It's called Sincerity is Gross. That'll take you to like a Facebook page. You can also go to jamesbarellacomedy.com. That's my webpage. Or you can just go to my Instagram, jbarellacatmetal. Find me there.
James, thank you so much for coming out. Rhythm, take it away. Going, whatever this is, it just keeps on happening. I'm excited. Episode 24. I was talking to my team earlier today, and we're talking about like how can we get engaged more with our home audience, the audience at home. And I'm kind of like, I'd rather deal with the people here. I love y'all. But an extra addition to what we're doing here. we're introducing our comics and entertainment interview questions. So if you have a question and you're in the comment thread right now, submit it, and we're going to reach out to our guests and get those questions answered. So go crazy. Whatever questions you'd like, we're going to do our best to get the honest answer from our interviewees and musical guests. So there we have it. The show is not over. We've got an awesome musician ready to get on the stage. I'm really excited. This gentleman reached out and sent me a bunch of he sent me to his website and a bunch of his music, and I got on his website and just like fell in love with it. I'm such a huge fan. From the Jonathan Pierce Project. Jonathan Pierce, come on out.
Hi. This song's called Lesson Learned. It's about getting your ass kicked. Chalk it up and fill my cup, babe. Just another lesson learned. Don't you know, baby, you know it's got to be my turn, yeah. And I got this feeling that I should be on my way. But time keeps on revealing all the signs of my young age. And so I look to the sky to find the words of the wise, but he got nothing to say. Pulled down my sheets and found my way through the maze I've been living today. Only thing constant in here is unsatisfiable, yeah. But things might be finally clear, and that sweet, sweet burn of a lesson learned. Lesson learned. And it's times like these I wonder who I am, babe. Have I been living it right? Could I be a better man? And no, your life is nothing but a series of how are you feeling today? Yeah. And I'm just a curious fool trying to make my way. I sing, look to the sky to find the words of the wise, but they got nothing to say. Pull down my sheets and find my way through the maze I've been living today. Only thing constant in here is unsatisfiable, yeah. Things might be finally clear, and that sweet, sweet burn of a lesson learned. Just lesson learned, yeah. And like I said, it's times like these I wonder who I am. Have I been living it right? Could I be a better man? Through all these helpless times, you know I do the best I can. Gathering on my lesson learned. Whoa. Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is such a cool show. Rhythm. Yes. Thank you. Rhythm and I hung out the other night. We had a good hang, but we've never played together, so this is fun. So different one. Push it a little bit. Well, I said now, baby, babe. Oh, lately I've been crazy, crazy now. Trying to find the ways to make you wanna come and stick around, babe. And I said now, baby, babe, give me if my love's a little lazy sometimes, yeah. But into it in and out, in and out. Trying to find the way, but you don't want to stick around. Stop. Said trying to find a way, but you don't want to come and stick around, baby. I could never hold you down. Yes, I know. I would never, 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 never. I could never hold you down because you only ever try to get away. Only try to get away, baby. Here we go, here we go. It's like sitting on the front porch, play a little back and forth, trying to find a way to keep you coming through my door. And then I'm sitting in the shade cause it's hot outside. I got some sweet lemonade for the apple of my eye. Say you're coming over, but your shoulder's getting colder. All these things I felt before, but now I'm feeling like it's over and I can't find the time. Oh, so say goodbye. Find yourself inside someone else's eyes. You wanna see me cry? To see it leaving comes to no surprise. Because I know I can never hold you down. Yes, I know I would never, never, never. I can never hold you down because you only ever try to get away. You know, I'm really feeling ready to die right now, right? I was like, shit. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. 50-inch screen, money, green leather sofa. Got to ride the limousine with the chauffeur. Phone bill about 2 G's flat. No need to worry, my accountant handles that. And my whole crew is lounging, celebrating every day, no more public housing. Thinking back on my one-room shack, and then my mom pimps the act with minks in her back. She loves to show me off, of course. Smiles every time my face is up in the sauce. We used to fuss when the landlord dissed us. No heat, wonder why Christmas missed us. And birthdays was the worst day. And now we sip champagne when we thirsty. Damn right, I like the life I live. So went from negative to positive, and it's all good, man. I'm ready to die. I know I can never hold you down. Yes, I know I would never, never, never. I could never hold you down because you only ever try to get away. I know I can never hold you down. No, 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 I will never, 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 cause you only ever try to get away. Thank you very much.
Jonathan Pierce, everybody! Yeah! Holy shit! That was such a dope performance. I'm gonna pour you some wine. You deserve that shit. Oh, Jonathan. Dude, you've got such a cool sound.
Thank you, sir.
I love it. Tell me about the development of your music. Take it slow.
Development of my music.
Cheers.
I grew up as a singer in like choir and stuff like that, and instruments were weird for me. I guess I played the saxophone, but I couldn't sing and play at the same time. And so
at some point, my grandma gave me this guitar, and I just started playing some Bob Dylan songs, and
Yeah.
then everything else seeped in.
Do you feel like the vocals represent that kind of brass sound? Because you have a certain texture to your voice that you bring.
I think it's like it's practice, it's discipline, but it's also all the bad shit I do too.
Yeah.
So it's a balance.
Well, let's talk about the bad shit. Let's talk about the good shit. What does Portland represent to you when it comes to the music scene?
When it comes to the music scene, I just think there's people out here that are really community oriented.
Yeah.
And they're really they see each other as their brother, and look at how can I help you out and how can I contribute to you, and
Yeah, so I've noticed that it's an extremely collaborative city, and a lot of the reason why we're doing our project is to bring everybody into a room so we could all experience this together, right? You've got some shows coming up. Let's talk about that.
Let's see, I'm doing the Passport Cannabis Industry Night on Friday.
Ooh.
That's going to be fun. I'm doing Mock Crest on Saturday, but a big band show on September 8th.
Okay.
So full band.
Hell yeah. What does your full band consist of?
Right now it's bass, 2 guitars, and a drummer.
Awesome.
I'm singing,
Awesome. Well, we'll be happy to support you here in the studio audience and here at the home audience. And where can we find you online?
Find me on JonathanPierceProject.com or at JPP Purple Onion on Instagram and Twitter, or Jonathan Pierce Project on Facebook.
Awesome.
So,
very cool. Thank you so much for coming
you.
out.
It's a good one.
Rhythm. Take it away. Abbey Creek. Shout out to Abbey Creek. So, it's Monday. Most people dread Monday. I've learned to live for Mondays because we get to showcase creative entrepreneurs, musicians, comedians, our community that chooses not to woe on themselves, but to build and create and really facilitate the community that can and will exist here in Portland. And I'm so excited to present to you our first series, Masterpiece with Annalise. So with no further ado, I bring you Masterpiece with Annalise.
Hi, I'm Annalise Cleopatra with your celestial forecast for July 30th, 2018. So I know last week I talked a lot about Mars and the moon and the planets, but there was also a Delta Aquarids meteor shower that was going on between July 28th and 29th in the wee hours of the morning. Unfortunately, because it was a full moon, you might not have gotten as brilliant as the show as you would otherwise, but it still peaked at about 20 meters per hour. So if you were somewhere where you got to see the eclipse and some meteor showers, I'm very jealous of you. Let's talk about plants and veggies. So we're leaving a full moon. This is not the best time to plant if you can help it. The seeds really like the rising water table of the full moon, so you just don't want to plant on a downswing if you can help it. At the farmer's market, you guys, it's summer, it's Portland, everything is gonna be so great. There's gonna be peppers, potatoes, plums, my favorites, pears. Go out to an orchard, get some apples, there should be some early watermelons, summer squash, the list goes on and on. This is really a good time to get out there and just get some fresh veggies and bake a CSA. You can do it. Back to Chris at Live in Portland.
Back to Live in Portland. I'm so excited. This is episode 24. We do this week after week, and we bring together Portland's community. So, as far as communities go, I got to represent for the people who are here. So, everybody, come on out to the stage. This is hype. This is episode 24. I'm so excited y'all came out. Everyone here is a superstar. We had such an awesome showcase. Andrew Stoner, thank you. Rhythm DeLuca, thank you for showing up. Let's give a hand for the Live in Portland team. Without this couldn't be done. Episode 24, everybody. It's Monday. Let's bring good energy out to the week. Until next time, guys. Peace.